Good morning, everyone. My name is Sammy, and along with my group, we are excited to dive into the topic of Singapore vehicle ownership decision. Today, we are going to explore whether is it a right time to make that purchase or we think might be a better strategy. So let's dive in. So here's a table of content. The scenario began with Alex and his family attending a car show. The sales representative from our group approached him and offered assistance if needed. Alex expressed his interest in purchasing a car and seek for advice. Therefore, we will be analyze the relevant data from 2010 to 2022 and present Alex with insights into the COE trend as well as the price to enable him to make well-informed decisions. Alex, let's look at the overall COE trends. So as shown here is the COE premiums across the years. So we can see that there is a sharp increase in COE premium from around $10,000 in 2019 to approximately $70,000 in 2022. This is mainly because Singapore recovered from COVID-19 pandemic. That's why there is an increase in consumer spending due to higher employment, and this boosts the demand for COE, causing the price to rise. Our advice for Alex will be to monitor the COE price and delay purchase until the price becomes stable. So now let's look at the COE bids received over the years. As you can see from the graph, the COE bids received the year actually decreased. This means that the COE premium and COE bids received are negatively correlated. With a higher COE premium, this can actually lead to a lower number of COE bids received. This is mainly because with a higher price, this can actually deter some buyers from participating in the bidding process, and hence the bidding received for COE might decrease. Now I will pass on the time to Ziyu.
Moving on to renewal considerations. When a car expires after 10 years, vehicle owners can choose to renew the COE by paying the prevailing quota premium, also known as PQP, which is the average of the COE premium in the preceding 3 months. To identify whether the COE premium actually affects the car owner's decision to renew the COE, we decided to compare the COE premium over the years alongside the number of cars with ages year 10 to 11. As shown above, the COE premium showed steady increase from 2010 to 2013, before following a sharp decline from 2013 to 2019, and a steep increase from 2019 to 2022. Whereas for the number of cars aged 10 to 11 years, there were unvarying changes from 2010 to 2013, following a substantial increase from 2013 to 2019, then a steep decline from 2019 to 2022. Based on these graphs, we observed an inverse relationship between COE premiums and the rate of COE renewal. When it comes to renewal, the main decision factor is the comparative cost between the PQP versus bidding for a new COE. Owners may choose to renew their COE if it is of a lower cost as compared to purchasing a new car. Theoretically wise, there should be a direct relationship between the two charts, as when the premium rises, it discourages the purchase of new cars, influencing old car owners to renew their COE. So what exactly caused the discrepancy between theory and our observations? We have decided to analyze the market situation in 2020 to 2022 for this analysis. Firstly, the change in PQP trends. The high preceding COE premiums would have caused an increase in the PQP, which would not have motivated renewals. Secondly, the impact of COVID-19 pandemic may have altered financial capabilities and the transportation needs due to the increase in work from home and lesser people going out. Thirdly, after a peak of renewals which happened from 2012 to 2019, there could have been a natural decrease due to the demand for renewals being saturated. Other factors also include vehicle depreciation and the preference for newer vehicles. Taking all this information into consideration, we would advise Alex to observe the PQP rate before deciding on renewal. Additionally, he has to take into account other practical concerns related to vehicle use, condition, and also the broader economic environment to ensure that he makes the best decisions financially and practically.
Moving on to the analysis of vehicles brand choices, generally there's a negative correlation between COE premium and the number of new COE registrations, and hence the number of vehicles purchased across most brands. However, the extent of correlation differs between the kinds of brands, and certain brands exhibit anomalous behaviors in some years. Generally, as COE premium increases, the cost of owning a vehicle increases significantly, and demand for vehicles decrease. However, the number of luxurious cars registered remain relatively constant, and probably because the demand for luxurious vehicles remain unaffected by the increase in COE premium, as their target customers are from the high-income group, and COE premium remains a small component of the total vehicle cost. For average brands, the number of vehicles registered decreases and demand decreases significantly, and probably because their customers are mainly from the middle income group, and COE premium remains a large component of the total vehicle cost. However, for average brands, there's anomalous behavior in 2020 to 2021. As the COE premium increases, the number of cars registered increases instead. Why so? In 2020 to 2021, Singapore experienced the COVID-19 pandemic, travel restrictions, and the increased work from home. This decreases the demand for vehicles. However, demand for vehicles still remain high, as we believe Singaporeans' goal own a car remain relevant as it is seen as a symbol of wealth. And furthermore, median household income increases. So overall, the demand for average brand vehicles still increased. And overall, our advice to Alex would be that if he's looking to purchase a premium brand, he should proceed with his purchase. But if Alex is looking to purchase an average brand, he should wait for the COE premium to fall first.
Now moving on to the categorical analysis of how supply and demand for Cat A and B changes over the years. When comparing the two cats, generally throughout the years, both the quota and bids received follow a similar pattern, with an increase from 2014 to 2016, followed by a steady drop into the recent years, indicating a negative relation with the COE premium. Demand for Cat A is also generally higher than Cat B, since these are entry-level cars and more consumers are able to afford them, and they're more financially feasible. Generally, the fluctuations are also higher in Cat A compared to Cat B. This is because the Cat A vehicles consumers are more sensitive to COE changes, similar as what was mentioned in the brand analysis before this. And those who can afford the higher COE premium of Cat B cars are more likely to have a higher disposable income and are less affected by the ups and downs in the COE price. So consumers for these Cat A cars tend to be more sensitive to the price changes because of their ability to purchase the car being very dependent on the COE change. However, there is an anomaly between the negative correlation of COE and the demand for Cat A and B cars mentioned earlier between 2016 and 2018. This anomaly can be attributed to three things. Firstly, the economy in general was not doing so well and growth had slowed down, making people more unwilling to make large purchases as they are uncertain of the future. Adding on to this, a new vehicular emission scheme being implemented meant many cars which qualify for tax rebates would lose their rebates, and some may even attract surcharges under this new scheme, which would make people unlikely to buy cars due to the potential increase in costs. Lastly, the rentals from private hire companies was decreasing, and many drivers were dropping off their rental cars. All of this comes together to contribute to this anomaly of the drop in bids across both categories, despite a reduced COE premium in 2016 to 2018.
Now let's look at the future predictions for 2023. And first, we believe the COE premium will continue to rise in 2023. This is because the trend over the past 4 years shows us that the COE premium has been increasing, and we believe this will continue. Singapore's economy is also moving back towards how it was pre-COVID-19, which will mean two more things. Firstly, the workforce will start going back to the office more often due to hybrid work cycles being more popular nowadays, and therefore there's an increased demand for private vehicles as people go back to work and is more convenient, and therefore the COE demand will increase. The COE quota will also fall more as the government looks to regulate the number of cars on the road, which means the COE supply will fall. Now we look at this graph showing the number of bids received and the COE quota from the 5 categories, and we can notice that throughout the years, the COE bids received always exceed the COE quota. This is evidence that the COE quota will once again be lower than the bids received, and therefore the price will increase. So with this increase in price, Alex should consider waiting for the COE premium to drop as his car still has 3 years of COE to go. Next, we look at the COE bids received in 2022 and 2021, and we can see that Cat A is the most popular, with Cat B being a close second. This is because Cat A, as mentioned earlier, is cheaper and more affordable. However, Alex has a family of 4, therefore he should consider getting a larger car, which often falls under Cat B or Cat E, the open category, which tend to be more expensive. Therefore, he needs to consider the financial burden that this might bring buying a larger car as well. So in conclusion, the considerations for Alex is that the COE premium is likely to continue increasing in the year 2023. So if he's considering to renew his COE, he needs to take into account the PQP, which will continue to increase as the COE premium is rising. Therefore, he needs to think about renewing it soon or later. Depending on his financial status, he has to consider the financial burden of the COE premium. And if he can, he should consider getting a vehicle from the Cat B or Cat E category, as the vehicle is bigger and suits his family more. Thank you.